Hey, and welcome back to another episode of Vibrant You. Today we are talking about why you are doing everything right when it comes to your health. You are eating the right foods, you're taking the right supplements, you're exercising well, you're listening to all the right podcasts and following great advice, but you're not actually getting the health results that you desire for yourself. So whether that's with your gut health, your digestion, whether it's with your hormones, your periods, PMS, your cognitive health, brain fog, or poor sleep, your metabolism or weight, you have either seen some progress, but you've just plateaued, or you simply haven't seen the results that you think you should be when you're doing all of these amazing things. So today we're talking about the missing link in your healing and health optimization journey. So why this is, and how you can really start to finally bridge that gap from where you are and the health that you truly desire to have for yourself. So first, I just want to say, well done, doing so many things right. I know that you're eating absolutely best as you can, and you've tried so many different nutrition plans. You're exercising well, you're taking your vitamins, you are just doing so many things right when it comes to your health. And I just want to celebrate and honor that. And that I've been there too in my health journey. I've been in that position where I'm like feeling so frustrated, like, oh my God, I'm doing everything right. And it just doesn't seem fair that I'm not seeing the results that I want when, the next person could be eating horribly and not exercising and not doing all these extra therapies and investing so much time and energy and money into their health and healing journey and be getting the results that maybe you aren't. So I've definitely been there, and it's something that I see the odd time with clients as well, where they're doing everything right and they're so committed when it comes to the health protocol that they're on, and they've definitely seen some progress, right? They've seen a lot of movement, they've seen a lot of change, but they've kind of plateaued. And this is where this podcast episode comes in, because we're going to talk about why that is and how to accelerate and optimize your health in an even deeper way. So I've been there back in the day when I was experiencing all of my chronic health issues. I was at a point in my health where I was practically living in a hospital, having seizures on almost a daily basis, having chronic digestive issues and hormone issues. My skin was in a constant state of breakout, so much inflammation in my body. I've been there. And the good news was on my path to healing, the first month or two, everything seemed to be getting so much better as I was improving my nutrition and moving my body and taking supplements and working with a naturopath. All of a sudden, things kind of just plateaued, and I was still doing all the things right and so excited, but wasn't seeing the continued and ongoing results and kind of that last 40% of results that I wanted to create for myself. Why is that? Why is it that you can be doing everything right when it comes to your health, but you're still not seeing those results? The reason is stress, chronic stress. And when someone's in that state of doing everything right and not seeing the needle move, or having relapses of the same thing, right? They've healed their gut issues as soon as they come off of the low FODMAP diet, or as soon as they're off of the elimination diet, they go right back to their symptoms. My mind immediately goes to the nervous system. Dysregulation of the nervous system due to chronic stress. So to understand why and the impact of chronic stress on our health, we first have to understand something in our body called the HPA axis. It stands for the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, or the HPA axis, which really speaks to the intricate connection between the three major glands in the body: the hypothalamus and the pituitary gland in the brain, and the adrenal glands that sit on top of the kidneys. And all three of these glands produce hormones that work together to ultimately regulate our body's response to stress. The impact of stress on health is this: we can have both physical or mental stress. And it's really a two-way street. So stress we might think of as being, emotional stress, right? Psychological stress, stress from life events, stress of family, responsibilities, financial stresses, stresses in your work, difficult life events that have happened that make you feel stressed emotionally. But stress can also be physical. And this is sometimes what I'll see with my clients as well is, they're doing so many things to manage their mental, emotional stress, and they don't feel stressed so much. However, the stress for them is not as much coming from their mind, although in many cases it can be, but it's actually coming from their body. And what happens is that when we have imbalances inside of our body, such as an overgrowth of pathogens, parasites, bacterial overgrowth in the gut, imbalances in our hormones, viral infections, all of these types of things. It puts our physical body into a state of stress, which again creates that same fight or flight mode inside of the body and further perpetuates our symptoms and prevents and holds us back from achieving the level of health and healing that we truly desire for ourselves. What we have to understand here is a little bit about our nervous system to understand why stress has such an impact, and therefore how to rebalance the body, how to create, fill that gap when it comes to your health optimization journey so that you can experience the deepest levels of health and vibrancy and well-being and mental clarity that you possibly can. We first have to understand the nervous system. There are two main branches of your nervous system. The first is what we call the sympathetic nervous system, known as our SNS, and the second is our parasympathetic nervous system, known as our PNS. So the sympathetic nervous system, I remember it like this. Sympathetic is our stress and survival state. It's our fight or flight response. Sympathetic is stress and survival, fight or flight. Our parasympathetic nervous system is rest and digest. Our stress response is activated by the sympathetic nervous system. When our body perceives a threat in our environment, our pupils dilate. This nervous system makes our blood, go to our extremities, into our muscles so that we can fight or flee and respond to the stressor. Our heart rate increases. This is the sympathetic nervous system. The parasympathetic nervous system, however, is what deactivates our body's stress response and brings the body back into balance or homeostasis. It allows our blood flow to return to our vital organs. It allows our digestive secretions to start up again, our sex hormones to start up again, all of which get shut down when our body's in that stressed state. There's a deep connection between our stress hormones and our body living in a chronic state of emotional or physical stress and our sleep, sex, thyroid hormones, our digestive secretions, and so on. So when our body's in that state of chronic fight or flight, our cortisol or our stress hormones are increased. And when we have elevated cortisol or stress hormones, all of our other hormones get shut down. They get deregulated. So stress cortisol goes up, sex hormones goes down, thyroid hormones go down, digestive secretions and hormones go down, and they work in competition with each other. So you can't simultaneously. It's not possible, at least not effectively. You can't be in a stressed state in your physical body and be in a state where your body has the capacity to rest, digest, heal, repair at a tissue level, detoxify. They're different actions in the body. So that sympathetic stress response prepares the body for any potential dangers in our environment, and that parasympathetic state aims to return the body to a state of calm after the stressor leaves. But here's the problem. In our modern society, the stressors that we experience that enter our bodies never end. We interpret everything as a stress, right? And we're so bombarded with stress on a daily basis. Financial pressures, work pressures and responsibilities, family demands and obligations, things going on in the world, environmental issues, and just feeling so much stress and so much threat to us. So back in ancient times, the stressors were so significantly less important, right? The body would go into a fight or flight state when, you'd hear something rustling in the bush and we'd think, oh, there's a tiger or something's here to get me. And so we would go into a stress response. Nowadays, we're not encountering genuine life or death situations. I mean, it's possible, but not nearly as much that truly threaten our survival. It's more, how am I going to pay my bills on time? When am I going to fit this into my calendar? I have so much going on. How am I possibly going to be able to achieve all this problem in our relationship? And it goes on and on. So nowadays, our bodies are just in such a chronically stressed out state, and it's deeply impacting our body's capacity to heal, to recover, and whatnot. So we might be able to get that acute stress under control, right? Pretty easily. But it's the accumulation of these life stresses that really build up and keep our body in that state of stress or that sympathetic state. So if we are battling any level of chronic stress over an extended period of time, your sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system are probably out of balance, which causes chronic disease. It weakens our immune system. It impairs our digestion. It causes anxiety and low mood and adrenal fatigue. It puts us into a state of burnout, which causes hormonal imbalance, poor sleep, and more. The key takeaway in all of this is that to truly achieve the level of health and healing and vitality and vibrancy that we really desire for ourselves, activating the parasympathetic nervous system is truly essential. And the best way to activate this parasympathetic nervous system is not just about daily practices. It's not just about meditating and bubble bath. The best way to activate your parasympathetic nervous system is by feeling safe in your body, helping you to feel safe in your body, knowing that my body, my mind are safe, that I'm not in a constant state of threat. I'm not always in a life or death situation, which our mind interprets all of these basic responsibilities and challenges in our everyday life as genuine threats. And with the amount and the speed that they're coming in, it's so overwhelming to our system that we can't possibly keep up. So the main thing is that we need to find out, how do I find safety in my body again? And this may require some deeper healing work, everything from simply like changing our relationship to stress, understanding that, like really reminding our bodies what we're going to be doing for the rest of the week or how we're going to fit it all in. It's not a genuine life or death situation. And our primal brain, our amygdala, lights up and says, ding, 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 this is like life or death. This puts us into fight or flight. But really doing the deeper inner healing work to understand that it's not life or death, doing the mindset shifts that are necessary to really change our relationship to stress. Maybe making some changes in our roles and responsibilities to not be taking on too much. Maybe changes in our relationships and how we relate to others, how we relate to ourselves. Changes in our physical environments that allow us to feel more safe. Changing those things, working with a therapist or a coach or a counselor or a body worker of some sort, ultimately to help you reestablish that felt sense of safety in your body. One of the best ways that we can do this is really to understand. I know for me, the most stress-reducing technique or tip or hack or therapy that I've ever done is the realization that I am not my thoughts and that not every thought that I think is true. Because when we believe that on average 80,000 thoughts that we think in every single day, all of the catastrophizing, the perfectionism, the stresses, we can start to see through them a little bit and start to really demystify and soften the intensity that goes through our mind and not allow everything to feel so life or death, feel so dramatic, which ultimately can help us feel more safe in our bodies. So the greatest thing that we can do is realize that you are not your mind. Not everything that you think is fact. Thoughts aren't facts. They're just thoughts. And most of the things that we catastrophize in our mind, we make it seem so much bigger and more dramatic than it really is, or maybe than it needs to be. So working with a practitioner, I do this with my clients inside of my Find Balance program. We do the deeper, of course, physical healing and functional medicine protocols, as well as mindset coaching, holistic counseling, trauma healing, nervous system regulation, all of which is essential to really optimize those healing protocols. Because again, you can be taking all the right supplements, eating all the right foods, but if we're not taking care of our capacity to feel safe in our body, for our nervous system to be regulated, then all of these organs aren't going to be as optimal as they can. All of these supplements that we're taking and beautiful, nourishing, organic foods that we're eating can't fully be absorbed. Because again, when we're in that stressed state, we can't also be in the digest state. So we're not getting the same value that we possibly could from the protocols that we're on. So I want to share with you now daily anchors to reduce your stress, knowing that the fastest way, the most effective way, the most sustainable way to achieve your health goals, it really lies in your capacity to reduce your stress, to activate that parasympathetic nervous system, put your body into a really juicy, lush, delicious, healing, balanced state. And then everything that you're doing can then start to optimize, can then start to really unlock its magic and start to heal at the deepest levels. So here are some daily anchors, possibilities of what you can do, daily practices to help you tune into that parasympathetic state and get your body out of fight or flight. That's essential for your healing. So number one daily anchor is having some sort of meditation or breath work practice. This is one of the best things that we can do. And I don't care what kind of meditation you do, what kind of breath work, whatever helps you feel safe. So that might not mean sitting in total silence, observing your thoughts if your mind doesn't always feel like the calmest place to be. It might be a walking meditation where you're just present with nature and present with your breathing, moving your body gently. Right? It might be laying in bed and doing a few minutes of just deep breathing. I have a beautiful guided meditation collection that I'll link up in the show notes. It's a really beautiful visualization, gentle breathing, and really like storytelling based guided meditation collection. It's really like feels like love letters to your soul and just invites so much self-love and inner healing and capacity to navigate stress and overcome fear from just like the most compassionate, beautiful, mindful space. So I'll link those up in the show notes, and really beginning some type of meditation, breathwork, or mindfulness practice is so helpful. Again, it starts to break down the space between you and your thoughts, helps you to understand that you are not your thoughts. Not everything that you think is a fact, right? Not everything that our mind catastrophizes is going to come true, and starts to help us, break down that stress response in the body. Okay, daily anchor number 2, Epsom salt baths. I cannot speak highly enough of these for so many reasons. One, the warmth. When you think about it, when your body is in that contracted state, it's like your nervous system just jumped into an ice bath and your entire body is contracted and your nervous system is contracted and you're in fight or flight. What does warm water do? It softens. Right? When your body is in a hot tub or in a warm bath or, even laying in the sunshine, your body softens, your nervous system calms, your blood flow returns to your vital organs and comes out of your muscles. And then the second piece about Epsom salt baths in particular is that it's so high in magnesium. So Epsom salt is magnesium sulfate. So it's like it's like taking a magnesium supplement, because directly through your skin, your largest organ, you're absorbing all of that delicious magnesium from the bath. And that has a very tranquilizing effect on our nervous system and is a key way to activating that parasympathetic or rest and digest state of our nervous system. So daily anchor number 3 is self-massage. This is an ancient Ayurvedic practice known as Abhyanga, and it's really simple. It's simply taking a natural organic oil. Most people benefit from a sesame oil, but you can get special herbal formulations or coconut oil. There is different oils based on your body constitution, and different oils are better for different people, but most people will do well with sesame oil. And all you're going to do is on an empty stomach in the morning before you shower, or empty stomach before bed at night, you're simply going to take some of that oil and massage your entire body with it. And that sesame oil is twofold. One, you're massaging yourself, you're connecting to your body, it feels good, it's pleasurable, it's calming. But two, that sesame oil actually has a very calming and soothing effect on your nerves right under the skin, the nerves that pervade your skin tissue. And so it acts as this soothing balm to your nerve endings, which has a very, very calming effect. It signals to your central nervous system, I'm safe. It's like a gentle hug to yourself, reminding yourself that you're safe. Daily anchor number 4 is a movement practice, a calming movement practice. So high intensity interval training or going for a sprint, a run is going to, of course, activate the stress response in the body. Your body's like, why am I running? There must be something wrong. I'm in that fight or flight state, which of course we need exercise. I'm not saying don't exercise, but I'm saying in terms of your nervous system, we really do need calming, because we spend so much time of our day in that sympathetic, stressed out state. And we need to turn on that parasympathetic state, which is calming. It's returning our body back to balance. So movement practices like yoga asana, and I'm not talking Bikram yoga. That's sympathetic state, right? It's heating, it's too hot, it's really intense. I'm talking more like a gentle hatha yoga or a restorative yoga or a yin yoga if you like that. Something, even a gentle flow or vinyasa where your heart rate's not activated, you're not trying to catch your breath, but you feel like you leave the class feeling so tranquil and so calm and so balanced and so grounded. So daily anchor number 5 for stress reduction is to have some sort of singing or music or laughter throughout the day. So through singing, right, or laughing or humming, we actually stimulate an essential nerve inside of the neck called the vagus nerve, which connects our brain to our gut and so many different things. And what happens is when we hum, we're actually, the vibrations through us singing or humming or chanting or laughing, right, those vibrations actually stimulate that vagus nerve and improve our stress resilience in the body. As well as you can't be simultaneously stressed and laughing. You can't be simultaneously singing and stressed, right? They're just so opposite of each other. So this is so beautiful, no? Like when you're driving on your way to work, turn on one song and sing. Or when you wake up in the morning, as you're getting ready, just turn on a song and sing. Doesn't matter how it sounds. What matters is that it feels lighthearted. You feel safe in your body. You feel calm, right? It doesn't feel like a show or performance. It's just for you. But that's a really beautiful way to turn on that parasympathetic state. What I want you to take away is I would love your new goal to be, whether you do struggle with chronic health issues, whether you're just looking to optimize or you want to maintain the results in your health that you've created for yourself for many, many years to come. I want you to make a personal goal for yourself to spend 15 minutes every single day in that delicious parasympathetic state. When we are in that parasympathetic state, that's when our body goes into that deep level of healing, of repairing our tissues, of eliminating pathogens. Our immune system has a chance to boost, right? So 15 minutes, that's all that it takes every single day in that deeply relaxed state. Now, how do you know when you're in that deeply relaxed state? Think of when you've gone to a yoga class and at the end of the yoga class, you're in that nice shavasana. You know, when you lay down on your back at the end of the class and you just relax for 5, 10, 15 minutes and you're almost in that dream-like state. That is parasympathetic. You're in that parasympathetic state when you are laughing your head off with your girlfriends and you start to come down and there's kind of that, after you've been laughing for a while and there's kind of like a collection of yourself and you're coming back to your breath. That sigh is a parasympathetic state, right? It's that state that when you go get a massage and you're in that kind of in-between dream-like state, that's parasympathetic. When you go to a sound healing, that's parasympathetic. So 15 minutes a day in that state is going to radically improve your body's capacity to heal. It's going to help put your body into that felt sense of safety so that you can take advantage of your supplements and your nutrition plan and all these additional therapies that you're doing. This really is the main thing that we need. So I hope this was helpful. Today was all about how to overcome these chronic health issues, why everything that you're doing right hasn't been working. And I would love to hear your takeaways over on Instagram. What's the main thing that you're taking away? I'd love to hear a DM on Instagram. I'm at Bindi Stables, and you can reach out on there. I'd love to hear from you. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you back for another episode real soon. Take care.